Okay, so I have a recording on this one. So you can look at that if you want to, but since we're already here, that's why I decided to just go through it one time, right? So intro to alpha and beta. What exactly are they talking about when they say alpha and beta? I don't understand what's going on. What is this? Alpha and beta. Those are Greek letters. So how does this apply to math? I am confused. That's probably what's going through your head right now. Maybe. I don't know. But the quadratic can be written in the form x squared minus the sum of the roots plus the product of the roots is equal to 0. Alpha and beta, for this particular topic, they're considered to be the roots of my quadratic, right? So if alpha and beta are my roots, and I said this is the sum of the roots, we know sum needs to add. So this would be alpha plus beta. Product of roots, product means to multiply. So if this is my root, and then this is another root, if I want to find the product of my roots, I multiply them. So that's why I have here x squared is equal to alpha plus beta, which is the sum of the roots, the sum of alpha and beta, so alpha plus beta, and product of the roots, product of alpha and beta is alpha beta, and that's equal to 0. Okay, let me just show you an example real quick. Just now. I need to come up with an example that works so I can show you what this is and how it works. Because it's important for you to know what to do, but I don't want you to just learn it off for learning it off sake. You need to actually understand what you are doing. Okay, hold on. And x is supposed to be x. Oh gosh, let me rewrite this. I didn't even realize that. This is supposed to be x squared minus sum. So I'm just going to put sum x plus product, which is a pro, is equal to 0, right? So what I'm missing up here is this x. All right, so just write that down if you write it. Hold on, just give me a bit so I can come up with an example that works, so I could show you what to do. Let's resume. So I just want to show you an example of that, right, to help with your understanding. Because we're not just here to learn it off for learning it off sake. You need to actually understand what you're doing, right? Especially if you decide to do math in maybe like Form 6, you're going to need this. So unfortunately, you can't just cram it off to pass your exam. Anyways, so I told you that it's x squared. Quadratic could also be written as x squared minus sum of the roots. Sum, I don't know, put sum roots, right? Sum plus the product. So just put proof. And this is equal to 0, right? But let me prove that to you. So I can actually prove to you that this is correct. Hold on. Why do I keep forgetting this x? It's x, right? Just keep this in mind. The quadratic form, we know, is ax squared plus bx plus c. So if I give you this quadratic, if I give you a quadratic, x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. And I told you find the roots. You would solve by factorization, right? Well, you could use the formula too, but I would solve by factorization. And when I solve by factorization, I'll get my factors to be x x plus 1 and x plus 1. If I factorize this quadratic, this is what I will get. My two factors to be x plus 1, and this would also be x plus 1 is equal to 0. And when solving by factorization, when I was doing this with the class, we said we need to put each factor equal to 0 and solve for x. In this case, it makes no sense putting both of them equal to 0 because it's the same thing. I could just say x plus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, x has to be equal to minus 1. What does this mean to me? This value of x. If x is equal to minus 1, then my root for this quadratic is minus 1, 0. Right? So this x, this is my root. What does this say? Sum of the root. If I look at this, the quadratic form that we know, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. And then I look at this that I told you, ax squared minus the sum of the roots x plus the product is equal to 0. I said for this example, my root would be minus 1. Let me just write the other one. X plus 1 is equal to 0. X is equal to minus 1. If I find the sum of minus 1 and minus 1, what is that going to give me? X squared minus 1 plus minus 1, that's minus 2. So minus the sum of my roots, which was minus 1 plus minus 1, that's minus 2. X plus the product of my roots. I said my two roots are minus 1 and minus 1. If I find the product of this, minus 1 multiplied by minus 1 is going to give me plus 1 is equal to 0. But I know that a minus and a minus is a plus. So I can rewrite this as x squared plus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now look at this. Isn't this right here the same as this?
Yes, miss.
Yep. Right. And that, doing all that was just to show you that this quadratic form, ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, can be written like this. Ax squared minus the sum of the roots x plus the product of the roots is equal to 0. That was just me proving to you that it is actually true, and I'm not telling you nonsense. Everybody good with that?
Yes, please.
Yes, miss. I think so.
I think so. I need you to know so. Anything here confusing you?
No, miss. Everything is all right.
Okay. I hope I didn't confuse you with my explanation. Pointed out was to help you to understand, not to confuse you more. So if I did, please. Okay. I have a formula to find my sum of the roots and find the product of the roots. Find sum of the roots, which is alpha plus beta. The formula is minus b on a. What are you talking? You might be wondering, where did I get b and a from? Well, you see when we're completing the square, how we identified a, b, and c before we started solving for x and k? Same thing here. You identify a, b, and c, and then using those values, you could substitute it into your formulas to find sum of the roots, which is minus b on a, and then the product of the roots, which is c on a. So that's how you find product on the sum. I have this example here, and I also have steps for you to follow. Say you're given this quadratic equation, x squared plus 2x is equal to 50. The first thing you want to do is to put this quadratic equal to 0. How would I do that? Well, I bring it across to 50. So I would end up with x squared plus 2x minus 15 is equal to 0, right? Nothing new. The second step, you need to identify a, b, and c. Remember, a is the coefficient of x squared, which in this case is 1. B, coefficient of x is 2. And then c, which is just the constant, is going to be negative 50. Nothing new so far. Third step, you need to use the formula to find the sum of the roots and the product of the roots. So I have here in this box, recall the formula that I just showed you. I said that to find the sum of the roots, you use this formula, minus b on a. And to find the product of the roots, you use this formula, c on a. Because I know my values of a, b, and c from before, so I said a is 1, b is 2, and c is minus 15. All I have to do now is substitute it into my formula to find the sum of the roots and to find the product of the roots. When I do that, I'll get that the sum is minus 2 and the product is minus 50. What did this question ask me? They asked me to calculate the sum of the roots and the product of the roots. So I just found out that the sum of the roots is minus 2, the product of the roots is minus 15. Therefore, sum of the roots minus 2, the product of the roots minus 15. And that would be the answer for this question. Because all this question wanted you to do was to find the sum of the roots and to find the product of the roots. You good with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, miss.
So just follow these steps and you'll be good to go. And then in the other class, we did all these questions. All right, this you need to know. I know maybe you're not too keen on learning off all of this, but some of them you don't have to learn off. Like,
Miss,
see
like which
all,
one, miss?
which one?
Miss, like you said, we don't have to know all of them.
No, I didn't say you don't have to know all of them. I said some of them you don't have to learn all. If you understand it, then you would be able to, get this. The only one that you really have to memorize, well, the alpha, this one. So you need to know this, minus b on a, c on a, and this one. Alpha squared plus beta squared is alpha plus beta squared minus 2 alpha beta. But you see these, 3 to 6 and 8, you don't have to memorize this because it's, it should make sense to you.
Yes, miss. Those three. Yes, miss. Those are easy, miss.
So we treat the 6 and 8. You don't have to learn off those. If you
Miss-
understand the process behind it, you'll be able
Miss-
to.
Miss 1A plus B, then you got negative B over A, miss. So I
Mhm.
can't see, miss. It's very blurry.
Oh my. I don't know what to do. Wait, can you zoom on this? Oh gosh, yes, yes you can. Okay. That's cool. Can you see it now?
Yes, miss. Miss, but I don't understand it. Then B, then 2, miss. A, B equals C over D over A. So I don't understand this, miss.
You see these two? You see the ones I have the yellow tick by? Those are the ones you need to know.
Wait, what?
Well,
We don't need to know the yellow one?
no, I did not say you don't need
Oh.
to. I
Miss,
said you need to learn it off. You need to memorize these at this level. Memorize it.
yes, miss.